Hola, hola mis amores y bienvenidos to Everyday Español. I'm so excited you joined us for today's lesson because I'm going to teach you something that you don't typically learn in school. What the phrase lo que means. If you've been diving and learning Spanish, you hear people use lo que all the time and you're like, nobody's ever taught me this, what does it mean, and how do I use it successfully? Because clearly native speakers are using this all the time, or advanced level speakers are using it all the time. This phrase is small but mighty and used all the time in Spanish. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how and when to use this phrase. Let's get started. Before we get into today's lesson with that small but mighty word, lo que, don't forget to download the Unacademy app for your everyday Spanish lessons right at your fingertips. So what exactly is lo que? This small phrase can translate to what or the thing that. It can also mean which or that which, or the thing that in Spanish. As you can see, the small word has many different meanings, but they all are super important to the Spanish language. Basically, this phrase references something that was already said early on in the conversation or in that same sentence. So instead of repeating that thing again, do you see how I just used that thing? That is when you would use lo que. It is used to introduce a relative clause, which means it's referring back to something previously mentioned in that same sentence or that same couple sentences of conversation. This is used when it is very well understood what it is you are referring to. This little phrase allows you to connect ideas more smoothly and allows you to sound more fluent in your Spanish speaking. Let's look at an example. Lo que necesito es descansar. What I need is to rest. It is connecting the need with the action of resting. Now in this next section, let's talk about the different contexts in which we can use lo que. We're going to break down a couple scenarios in which we can use this common small but mighty phrase lo que. The first context in which you can use lo que is when we're referring to something unknown. For example, no entiendo lo que dijo. I don't understand what he or she said. In this case, the lo que is referring to something specific, but that is unknown to the listener. In this case, the thing that was said. The second context in which this can be used is to refer to a concept or an idea. Por ejemplo, lo que me preocupa es el examen. What worries me is the test, is the exam. Here, lo que refers to the idea that worries you, which the idea that worries you is the exam. In the third scenario in which you would use lo que is to emphasize the importance or relevance of something. Por ejemplo, lo que me gusta más de la película es la música. What I like the most about the movie is the music. In this case, lo que references the specific thing that you liked the most from the movie, which is the music. Let's take a quick pause and hop on my Unacademy app to maintain my streak for the day. Okay, the adjective bonito. Bonito means beautiful. Got it, easy. The black dress is beautiful. El vestido negro es bonito. We would use bonitos for something feminine or masculine and plural. Bonitos for masculine and plural. False. Unas camisas bonitas, unos suéteres bonitos. Mi vestido es negro. Translated. My dress is, my black dress is beautiful. Feo is ugly. Okay. Una camisa vieja, un suéter feo. My grandfather has a pair of ugly boots. Mi abuelo tiene unas botas feas, sí. El vestido es feo y la camisa es fea. Very good. Thank you for helping me maintain my Unacademy streak because I can't lose it. So you might be looking at me and be like, okay, so why do we, if lo que in all those examples you just used basically just means what, why would I just not use que? Well, I'm going to specifically teach you why we would use lo que instead of que. Que on its own is a relative pronoun, and it can mean that, which, or who. However, lo que, on the other hand, refers to an entire concept or specific idea for its entirety, not just the noun. Let's compare some examples. El libro que leí es interesante. The book that I read is interesting. Versus lo que leí es interesante. What I read is interesting. are we kind of seeing how in these two sentences, the word que in that first one by itself is kind of like that connector word, the that. Whereas lo que is referring to that book, the idea of the book that you read is interesting. Let's go through a few more examples together to make sure you really got it. Ejemplo 1. No puedo creer lo que pasó ayer. I cannot believe what happened yesterday. As you can see, in this sentence, lo que is used as what, but it is referring to the entire concept or the event of something that happened yesterday. It's referring to a specific thing. Ejemplo número 2. Lo que me gusta más de mi trabajo es el horario. What I like most about my job is the schedule. As you can see in both of these sentences, the lo que is referring a concept or an idea being discussed or emphasized. Now it's your turn. I want you guys to use lo que in a couple of your own creative sentences below in the comments so I can check them out to see how you're doing. Use this video, go back and rewatch parts so you can really make sure you're understanding the concept of lo que versus just regular old que. As you know, practice makes perfect, so get it so you can sound more fluent, more smooth, more natural in your Spanish. Muy bien, mis amores. I hope this video cleared up how and when you can use lo que in Spanish to make it sound more natural and smooth. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and sharing it with your friends so they can join our comunidad. I'll catch you guys next time on my episodes of Everyday Español. Adios!